Hello and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News on this Wednesday, February 4th. I'm Grant Olson. Here's some of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Wenatchee police are searching for a woman missing since mid-January. A transit bus was T-boned Tuesday by a pickup driver just outside Moses Lake. Our mostly cloudy, unseasonably mild weather continues with rain showers on tap for Super Bowl Sunday. Your full local weather forecast is coming up. Chelan County has asked Governor Bob Ferguson to seek federal help for engineering and construction assistance in Stehekin. In a letter to the governor, county commissioners say there is an imminent threat of flooding from the Stehekin River that threatens Company Creek Road. The road and surrounding land and homes saw substantial damage following the historic flooding events in December. The county says 25 homes and properties are in danger of being destroyed during the next flood season. The county is asking Ferguson to seek the help of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Advanced Measure Assistance, which offers direct technical expertise to local communities. Wenatchee police are searching for a woman missing since mid-January. Felicia Prince is a vulnerable adult who's lived in Wenatchee since late 2024. She's missed appointments, including one with her case manager last week, as well as recent group events. Police issued a missing person notice today. They say Prince has no family and no known contacts outside Wenatchee, although she previously lived in Bellingham and Spokane. Her cell phone was left behind in her apartment. They believe she may be unable to return home without help. Anyone seen or having contact with Felicia Prince is asked to call Rivercom Dispatch at 663-9911. A bill that would bar Washington State Police Departments from hiring any officers who joined ICE during the Trump administration will not move forward this legislative session. House Bill 2641 would have prohibited police employment for anyone who was hired as a sworn officer for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement on or after January 20th of last year, the date President Trump returned to office. The bill, introduced by Democratic House members, failed to make it out of committee by today's deadline. It was opposed by 12th District Representative Brian Burnett. Burnett, a Republican and former Chelan County Sheriff, called the bill discriminatory and said it could shrink the pool of potential police recruits. ICE has come under fire for wrongful arrests and violence against bystanders while enforcing immigration laws, including the fatal shootings of Renee Good and ICU nurse Alex Preddy in Minneapolis. Longtime King TV anchor Jean Enerson, who made history as the first woman in the country to anchor a nightly television newscast, is the 2026 Washington State Apple Blossom Grand Marshal. Enerson, who was an anchor in Seattle for 42 years and retired in 2014. During her career, she won multiple Emmy Awards, interviewed big names such as Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, and covered historic events like the eruption of Mount St. Helens and the Olympics. During the festival, Enerson will come to Wenatchee to attend the All-Service Club and Community Luncheon and ride in the Stamilt Grand Parade. The luncheon is set for May 1st at the Wenatchee Convention Center. When we come back, several immigrants in north central Washington who were scheduled to take the final step toward U.S. citizenship have had their oath ceremonies abruptly canceled. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front. For the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services, including caregiving, meals, and medication help.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Several immigrants in north central Washington who were scheduled to take the final step toward U.S. citizenship have had their oath ceremonies abruptly canceled. Our media partner, the Wenatchee World, reports 7 naturalization ceremonies were canceled in recent weeks, 3 in January and 4 scheduled for this month. Norma Gallegos, founder of Hand in Hand Immigration Service in Wenatchee, says U.S. citizenship and immigration offices have struggled with backlogs, mailing issues, and delayed appointment notices, sometimes causing people to miss important naturalization interviews. An immigrant must be a lawful permanent resident for at least 5 years before they can apply to become a citizen. A transit bus was T-boned Tuesday by a pickup driver just outside Moses Lake. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says the 18-year-old driver failed to obey a stop signal at Patton Boulevard and Loring Drive and then struck the bus from the side. There were 4 passengers on the Grant Transit Authority bus at the time. All 4, plus the bus operator, were taken to Samaritan Hospital for treatment of minor injuries. The driver of the Ford F-150 was ticketed for failure to stop. The construction and repair upcycling shop Eastside Rebuild has won a state grant of nearly $30,000 for its programs. The Kashmir nonprofit takes donations of tools and construction goods that might otherwise go to landfill and sells them at affordable prices for new building projects. It also runs a tool library for folks wanting to borrow equipment and hosts repair clinics where broken household appliances get a new lease on life. The $29,900 grant from the State Department of Agriculture will help Eastside Rebuild acquire food processing tools and a trailer to run outreach programs at local farmers markets. Coming up next in tonight's feature story, we will take you to etiquette training for the top 10 Apple Blossom royalty candidates. Our unseasonably warm weather continues with rain showers in the forecast this Super Bowl weekend. I'll have your local weather details coming up, along with Eric Granstrom with a look at all things sports, including the Seahawks preparation for the Super Bowl this Sunday, as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues after these messages.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Join NCWLIFE Channel Sports Director Eric Granstrom for daily reports on the Seahawks as they prepare for Super Bowl 60. Eric will give you the inside scoop as the Hawks try to win their second Lombardi Trophy. Coverage is brought to you by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Doghouse Motorsports, Dragoo Financial, and Latimer Chiropractic. Follow the Seahawks with Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Her Royal Highness, Ella Johnson!
Join NCWLIFE channel for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Royalty Selection Pageant Saturday, February 14th. The countdown to coronation starts at 6:30 with a pageant at 7. Coverage is brought to you in part by our platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, also by Apple Valley Honda and Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate. Tune in for the Royalty Selection Pageant live on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
Being royalty for the Apple Blossom Festival doesn't always come naturally. Along the way, the top 10 candidates for Queen and Royal Court get some tips from former queens who learned from the experience. Ann Albertson Deal and Corrine Cockram Tilley pass on their wisdom each year by leading the etiquette training for the candidates. The 2026 top 10 got their luncheon lesson on Thursday at the Wenatchee Golf and Country Club, covering the basics of dining, conversation, and showing respect for your peers. In tonight's feature story, we spoke with the etiquette leaders about how they guide the young women on their way to the Apple Blossom pageant scheduled this year for Valentine's Day.
I'm Ann Albertson Deal now, and I was queen in 1958.
My name is Corrine Tilley. I was the Apple Blossom Queen in 1986, so exactly 40 years ago.
The etiquette training, I don't have the exact number of years, but I'm sure it was more than 20, maybe a few less than 30.
I joined Ann about 10 years ago, and she had been doing it several years before that, and I just have had more fun with her in general, and then every year to get to meet the girls is just really a special treat. Every group's different, every group is darling, and they all have just different gifts and skills, and it's just fun to meet the new group every year.
Our chaperones really were our one-on-one chaperones with the princesses too, the two princesses. So the three of us kind of did it in an informal manner, but it was still very well done. We had wonderful chaperones. Many things are different. It was a shorter festival, but there was more in the weekend. It was just one weekend. So we had a junior parade on Friday, and then the grand parade on Saturday. There were events in the Apple Bowl, and that's where they did the coronation, even though, and it was quite a pageant, quite a big pageant, and outside, so weather was an issue, not very often, but it was. We had the year I was queen, it was lovely outside. I think the community involvement was amazing, and it still is. That is a tradition that has really lasted for many, many years, and it brings the Valley together in just a celebratory fashion, as it did in 1958.
I would say the basic skills are the same, just to take good care of the food and not be messy. There's differences now with technology, just keep your phone off the table. Stay focused on the person you're having a conversation with. I feel like conversations are a little more scattered now, maybe faster, and people aren't used to sitting at a table. I think that skill has gone away a little bit, just sitting around a table and having a meal together, but the gist is the same.
Just to be conscious that you're an example, even though you're not presented as an example, and that what you do hopefully isn't calling attention to you too much. I think this group is very lovely. They're obviously trying to present well, but they also enjoy each other, and it shouldn't be something that's so restrictive. It should be something that they enjoy together.
These young ladies, they're a wonderful group. They're very cohesive. They're just really neat young girls that have stepped out into something that not many people get to do in their little town, and it's a lot of work, and they've had to really put in an effort to get their speeches prepared and to speak in front of their student body and in front of the community in general. So it's just fun to get to know them.
Well, for me, at my age, it's just learning how exciting it is for this generation as it was for our generation, and also hearing about their very interesting and productive lives. And they're such a lovely group. They're having a wonderful time, and that's what it should be about.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Wednesday was a good one. And once again, a lot of those low clouds all around North Central Washington, especially in our higher elevations. This is a shot outside our weather window up at Lake Wenatchee from this afternoon. You can see a lot of fog up that way. And as you're traveling up around Stevens Pass and Highway 2, foggy conditions there as well. Not so bad, though, here in the lowlands. Just a lot of those low clouds. And as we make our way through the rest of the week, not much is going to change. We still could see a little bit of that patchy fog both on Thursday and Friday, partly to mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon. But the big news are temperatures. Look at this tomorrow. Some low 60s are possible in some areas, but we're talking mid 40s to high 50s and mid 50s as we make our way through the week and into Super Bowl weekend. But it looks a little wet as we get into Saturday and Sunday, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Today, though, much like yesterday, in fact, exactly the same high temperature, 44 unofficially, 38 is where we should be for this time of year, and our record 58 set in 2018. Another mild morning this morning, our low 37 degrees, which is about where our normal high should be. 26 is our normal low, and 2 below our record set in 1989. Sunrise 7:22, sunset 5:08. We're gaining about 4 minutes of light per day, and believe it or not, we gained 65 minutes of light in January alone. So more light's coming. So as we get to our temperatures as we make our way into Thursday, we are going to warm up. I think we'll see a little bit more sun tomorrow than today, and that wouldn't take much because we saw hardly any today. But look at the temperatures: 51 in Moses Lake and Ephrata, 50 for a high temperature in Quincy, Ellensburg 48. We will see 48 in Wenatchee, 47 in Chelan, and 46 the high temperature tomorrow in Leavenworth. So that's almost 10 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. Tonight, not much changing. That blocking area of high pressure still in place over northern Utah, southeastern Idaho, and that's creating that beautiful big ridge over the Pacific Northwest. It's keeping an area of low pressure at bay for now. Our lows tonight, mid-30s. By Thursday, once again, a little bit of morning fog. That'll give way to some high clouds by Thursday afternoon. We will warm up. We're talking upper 40s for high temperatures on Thursday, and I think we'll even get a little bit warmer than that to end the week on Friday. Still that ridge over us as this area of low pressure pushes a little closer to shore, but we're going to see highs around 50 on Friday afternoon. It should be a beautiful day. And then as we get into the weekend, that's where our high pressure ridge begins to retreat somewhat, and that'll allow a lot moisture, southwesterly flow to move in. A very weak cold front will be associated with that, and here's that 60% chance of rain on Saturday. We will remain warm, though, with that warm air coming up from the south, around 50 for highs. And then Super Bowl Sunday, it could be our wettest day of the entire forecast, but who cares? We're all watching football, right? Cloudy skies, a 70% chance of rain, almost statewide for Sunday. High temperatures still mild into those upper 40s. And then as we kick off our next work week on Monday, low pressure will kind of wear itself out off the coast, and most of the showers will be in extreme western Washington. Maybe an isolated shower for us Monday, with highs again very mild into those upper 40s. And by the end of our forecast on Tuesday, not a lot of change. Low pressure still off our coast. That'll supply some clouds our way, but that's about it. Slightly cooler for Tuesday, with high temperatures then in the mid-40s. All right, your 7-day forecast now, and it's brought to you by Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together. 35 overnight tonight. Just some high clouds when the fog burns off tomorrow, and 48 degrees. Beautiful day on tap for us for Friday, partly cloudy and warmer and 50. And then as we get you into the Super Bowl weekend, Saturday, 60% chance of rain late in the day and 49. Super Bowl Sunday, that's right, go Seahawks, and it's going to be a wet one. Cloudy, a 70% chance of rain and 48 for your high. And then as we get you into the next week, a chance for an isolated shower Monday and 48. Mostly cloudy, just slightly cooler for Tuesday with highs then around 45 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
It's time for special Seahawks Super Bowl coverage right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Today's report brought to you by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Doghouse Motorsports, Dragoo Financial, and Latimer Chiropractic. And now, here's our own sports director, Eric Granstrom.
The Seahawks have handled the barrage of questions during Super Bowl week in Santa Clara with grace and style. Some of the banter has actually been about football. Other elements have been taken with a grain of salt. Seattle's defensive end Leonard Williams was asked about the best thing about being in the Northwest after starting his career in New York.
I would just say the fan base, the 12s. I remember my very first game as a Seahawk. We had an away game in Baltimore. It was a night game, and we got back to Seattle after losing like 40-3. It was a bad loss. It's like 3 a.m. I'm getting to my car and driving home, and there's fans outside of the our facilities like cheering for us on our way home. And that was something I never experienced before. Like playing in New York, if you weren't winning by halftime, like the fans are leaving. We're probably getting booed by our own fans and stuff like that. Whereas out here, they really stay in it. They're really diehard out here.
Cooper Kupp was asked if he and his teammates have any superstitions. He said, well, he doesn't, but quarterback Sam Darnold refuses to get rid of an old phone case.
It's the smallest and dumbest things. Like, for example, Sam Darnold, his phone case looks like a cat has just shredded this thing apart. And he just keeps it. And I was like, okay, dude, I will get you a new phone case, right? So I bring it to him. Here's a new phone case. It's perfect. It's silicone, so it's not going to slip. It's going to be protected. But we're winning, and so he's like, "No, I can't replace the phone case because we're winning." You know what I mean? So it's not like we can all agree that we're not winning because of the phone case. But there's just little things like, and you wouldn't even say superstitious, but it's like there's just certain things that people keep doing that they do just because it's part of the process. We say it's a process thing. It's a little stitious, but it's mostly process.
Players have been subjected to all kinds of questions, ranging from their favorite color to card collections. Quarterback Devin Witherspoon had an enthusiastic response to his favorite fast food.
Chick-fil-A, for sure. Spicy chicken deluxe, for sure. Strawberry lemonade. I'm mad that they got rid of that, what lemonade that they had? It was a new lemonade. It was good, too, boy. Oh, dragon fruit lemonade. Boy, that was good, boy. That was good, yeah.
If the NFL didn't exist and money didn't matter, what's the one job you would choose?
I'd probably be gaming for sure. All of them, yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm on that Art Raiders. Anybody want to run on Art Raiders? I'm with it. Shout out to you, my dog.
Players have Friday and Saturday to actually focus on football, with Sunday's kickoff for Super Bowl 60 set for 3:30 in the afternoon at Levi Stadium on NBC. Seattle Kraken's 4-game winning streak was snapped by the Ducks last night. Anaheim scored the game's first 4 goals, hung on for a 4-2 win on home ice. The only Seattle players to find the back of the net, Jordan Eberle and Ty Cartier. Philip Grubauer had a rough night, 27-31 in the save department. Kraken turned right around with a game tonight in LA against the Kings. That'll be at 7 o'clock on King 5 and Kong TV. Well, there will be some men's college basketball on the schedule for Northwest teams tonight. 6th-ranked Gonzaga plays on the road at Portland at 7 o'clock. That'll be on ESPN+. Washington hosts Iowa at 8 o'clock. That's a Seattle game on the Big Ten Network. Washington State is in Corvallis to face Oregon State. That's at 8 o'clock as well on the CBS Sports Network. NCWLIFE channel featured the regular season finale of Big Nine Wrestling last night at Eastmont High School. Wildcats celebrated senior night with the visitors dominating in the girls match 59-15. Couple bright spots on the evening were Elena Dixon and Gracie Peterson. I was Matt Side with a call here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Dixon looking for the half Nelson, gets the turn, and 15 seconds left here in the round. Looking for the pin in the first round, and boy, I'll tell you, there, she got it. Gracie Peterson looking for the win, and she gets it. She has not had a stall warning as of yet, and she will win the match by a final of 4-1.
Eastmont boys were able to erase an early deficit by winning 4 of the final 5 matches by pin. It was pretty exciting. I also had the call here on the NCWLIFE channel.
And looking for a pin with 35 seconds. He'll get it. Jacoby Mercado will pin Ramon Partida at 165 pounds. And now will he try to bring him near or tumble him the other way? And he'll tumble him over. Will Dixon. And a pin just like that. How about that? 14-0 the score. Riker Hall with the lead, and now with a crossface, again trying to spin him over. Barajas trying to stay alive for 47 more seconds. No, he won't do it. And a win by pin in the 3rd round. And now posting and then turning. Kiedrowski looking for the pin. He gets it. 51 seconds into the 1st round. Talk about your season. What did you tell me? You've only had 1 loss all season?
Yeah, I lost to a kid in Hermanstead, which is from Oregon. Really good wrestler. I was in my head, though, and, I only lost by points. So it was a really good match.
So I've heard from a lot of people that you've totally turned your wrestling career around this year. What's been the difference?
Everything's clicking. I've been wrestling for a long time, but I finally had that mindset to want to win because it was my senior year.
In other Big Nine action, Moses Lake girls pulled off the upset on the road at Sunnyside. Mavericks came out on top 40-39. What a match there. Moses Lake boys also victorious, downing the Grizzlies 41-21. 2 great prep basketball games were played in the Basin last night. The East Valley boys traveled to Ephrata, edged the Tigers 54-50. Meanwhile, in Quincy, Toppenish won a barn burner over the Jackrabbits 96-93 the final. Bridgeport edged Omak on the road 61-59. Chelan ran past Lake Roosevelt 81-43. Manson topped Cascade 51-33. Okanagan took care of Brewster 73-56. Liberty Bell topped Tonasket 57-45. Etiquette got by Oroville 49-42. Moses Lake Christian slipped by Soap Lake 56-26. Waterville Mansfield edged Wilson Creek 52-51. Girls games last night not quite as close. East Valley down to Freda 43-19 and Toppenish quieted Quincy 60-29. Omak beat Bridgeport 62-28. Lake Roosevelt shot down Chelan 60-46. It was Brewster over Okanagan 63-45. Liberty Bell beat Tonasket 48-37. Oroville edged Entiat 45-40, and Moses Lake Christian stopped Soap Lake 42-34. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Wednesday.
And that will do it for this Wednesday edition of the NCWLIFE Evening News. Remember, if you see news happening, let us know. Email your news tips to news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call at 888-6295. Our channel is also available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us and have a great night.